What if you're exactly where you need to be? Not behind, not lost, not failing. Just growing in a way that doesn't require you to see the entire mountain at once. Sometimes we're given a lantern, not a floodlight. Not because we're incapable, but because clarity unfolds as we move. You're not meant to map the whole path from the bottom. You're meant to take the next steady step. Over the last 25 weeks, I've learned this. You don't find your path like it was misplaced. You build it. Through decisions, through effort, through showing up again when it would be easier not to. The light moves when you move, and every step forward expands what you're able to see. Welcome back to the Motivated Savages podcast, where we live bold, lead fearless, and ignite our path forward. I'm Jody Savage, and today we're going to talk about something that's real. Consistency. Not the hype version, the real version. The version that feels ordinary and repetitive. The kind that changes you from the inside out. This is week 25 of showing up. 25 straight weeks of recording, posting daily, learning, adjusting, refining. And I need you to hear this clearly. I'm not recording these episodes because I've figured it out. I'm recording them because I'm walking it. I'm climbing too. I'm holding the same lantern. And I'm learning alongside you. When you start something meaningful, you want a map. You want elevation markers. You want distance to summit. You want proof that the climb is worth it. You want to know, if I do this for 12 weeks, what do I get? But real growth doesn't come with a laminated trail guide. It comes with a lantern. Just enough light for the next 10 feet. That's it. And here's the frustrating part. You can't demand more light by standing still. The lantern doesn't expand because you think harder. It expands because you step forward. Over the last 25 weeks, I didn't have a master blueprint. I had a decision. Show up, post daily, record weekly, refine. That was it. And if I'm honest, there were moments when that felt small. Some episodes didn't spike. Some posts sat quiet. And there were nights I sat there thinking, is this enough? Not in a quitting way, but in a human way. Because when we're walking in the dark, you don't know how far you've climbed. You just know your legs are tired. You don't know how close you are to a clearing. You just know you're still in the trees. And this is where most people turn around. They mistake the trees for stagnation, the repetition for failure, the quiet for lack of progress. But elevation doesn't happen mid-step. You don't feel the mountain shrinking beneath you. You feel the incline in front of you. And somewhere between weeks 10 and weeks 18, something clicked for me. I stopped asking, is this working? And I started asking, am I walking? Because that's the only part I can control. I can't control when momentum compounds. I can't control when someone discovers the podcast. I can't control when traffic spikes. But I can control whether I take the next step. And here's what happened when I stopped negotiating with myself. The numbers changed. Slowly. The confidence deepened quietly. The clarity sharpened unexpectedly. The identity solidified powerfully. I didn't wake up and feel like a disciplined builder. I became one because I kept building. I didn't wake up confident in my voice. I grew into it because I kept using it. And I want to make something very clear. I'm not saying that from a summit. I'm saying it from the side of the mountain, still climbing, still adjusting my footing, still learning how to pace myself. That's why these episodes matter to me too. When I challenge you to commit to 12 weeks, I'm committing. When I say stop restarting, I'm reminding myself too. When I say the middle is where mastery forms, I'm living it. Here's the thing about mountains. There are switchbacks. You think you're walking away from the summit. You think you're losing direction, but you're gaining elevation. You don't always move in a straight line upward. Sometimes growth feels sideways. Sometimes it feels flat. And sometimes it looks like you're circling the same spot. But you're not. You're rising. And if you've ever tried to hike in the dark, you know this. The lantern doesn't show the whole ridge. It shows the next rock, the next route, the next safe step. And when you take that step, the light moves. Clarity doesn't come before motion. Clarity expands because of motion. And I've realized something else. Most people don't lack potential. They lack staying power. They restart too often. They pivot too soon. They chase novelty instead of building depth. They want the highlight reel before they've built the foundation. But foundations aren't glamorous. They're poured quietly. They're built underground. They don't trend, they hold weight. And over these 25 weeks, nothing explosive happened. But something structural did. The staircase formed. The RPM moved. The listens increased. The comments appeared. But more importantly, I changed. I became more certain, more consistent, more grounded. And I didn't change because of applause. I changed because of repetition. You don't build confidence by waiting for validation. You build it by showing up without it. You don't build clarity by consuming more. You build it by executing more. You don't build identity by thinking about it. You build it by practicing it. And here's the fun part. When you finally turn around and look back down the mountain, you're surprised. You think, when did I get this high? But you didn't teleport. You walked, step by step. Now let's look at this week's Savage Challenge. I want you to choose one area where you've been waiting for a full map, where you've been saying, once I feel ready. Stop. Pick the lantern. Pick the next step. Commit to 12 weeks. 12 ordinary ones. No announcements, no countdowns, no emotional roller coaster, just movement. Track your consistency, not your excitement. Measure your steps, not your spotlight. And when you feel like nothing's happening, remember this: you're probably in the trees. And that's where strength is built. And if you need someone walking with you, that's what this community is. We're not spectators. We're climbers. We're walkers. We're builders. I'm Jody Savage, and this is the Motivated Savages podcast. Live bold, ignite your path. That's the Savage way. If this message resonated, share it with someone who's holding a lantern and wondering if it's enough. Together, we're building the Savage community, a movement of people choosing purpose, growth, and bold living.